Welcome, CDL fans. We are here to start our third and final segment of this July 9th game day. And we are starting it with the last game from the Western Conference here today. We got the Los Angeles Blades, second place in the Western Conference coming into this thing. 10 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie. No overtime losses. They are on the road against the Detroit Devils, who have a record of 8 wins, 6 losses, no tie, and 1 overtime loss. Both these teams going for big wins. Of course, the Los Angeles Blades trying to keep that 4-point gap over the Phoenix Firebirds for the lead in the Pacific Division, and also trying to stay just 1 point behind the Mexico City Jaguars for the lead in the Western Conference. The Detroit Devils, on the other hand, trying to jump on an opportunity. Now, Chicago got a win over Seattle, so Seattle currently is in 6th with 27 points. Detroit, 7th place in the Western Conference with 25 points. So with the win today, Detroit could jump over Seattle and into that final playoff spot in the Western Conference. At least in the meantime, right? But I think it's a place that you sort of want to be with 2 weeks left to go in the season, perhaps. Of course, you'd love to be better, but sometimes you take what you can get, I guess, is the phrase to go. But big game here. We'll see what happens. The LA Blades lead the way with Pink Indy Jr. today. He's at their front runner spot, followed by Cove Light at the middleman spot. At the captain spot for Alex Johnson's Los Angeles Blades, that would be Green-Lena, and Green Blades Jr. has the 5-point gainer spot. To the home side of the field, the league-operated Detroit Devils lead the way with Pioneer. Following him out there, it's going to be the rookie V-Dub. At the captain spot for the Devils, it's Spectite. And that 5-point gainer is Black Marinello. The Detroit Devils here on the field used to be the Roswell Aliens back in the day, but and Alex had some history with them over the years, the early to mid 2010s, and 5-0 Pioneer gives Detroit the lead. Maybe those problems resurface in here. 5-0 the score as the make it 10-0 Pioneer. The car leading the way for the Detroit Devils is on point right now. 10-0 the score. And looking for a quick one here. Green-Lena trying to keep his team. Not going to happen. 3 collisions, 3 flips, donuts served for dinner. 15-0 the final score. And the Detroit Devils getting the win in shutout form over the LA Blades. And, wow, LA wanted to avoid that. I was talking about Alex Johnson. It seems all good that they bring the heat. But it was the Detroit Devils bringing the heat today. 15-0. They get the win over the LA Blades. A dominant performance by Detroit. You know what? That's just opportunity knocking and then a team answering the call, fully committed to it. Now, that being said, the Blades still are the leaders of the Pacific Division, but now it's only a 1-point gap with the Firebirds just 1 point on their tail. So, definitely one that the Blades got to feel like they let slip away there for sure, but the Devils getting the job done. Coming up next, Alex Johnson looks to make it up, right? Maybe using his other team to maybe get something done. But he's going to be the underdog this time. His Puerto Rico Playas on the road to take on the Toronto Titans. That matchup's coming up next. Welcome, CDL fans, to the second game here on our final segment of our July 9th game day. Alex Johnson didn't do too good with the LA Blades, but we'll see if he can bring that heat with the Puerto Rico Playas right now. Puerto Rico on the road looking for a win. They got a record of 5 wins, 8 losses, no ties, 2 overtime losses. And sort of the opposite of the last game that was here. Now Alex Johnson the underdog against the Toronto Titans. 10 wins, 5 losses, no ties, no OT losses. So 30 points on the season for Toronto. So they are trying to hang on to 4th place in the Eastern Conference right now. Puerto Rico with 17 points, trying to take advantage of a Miami loss, but also trying to keep up with Boston. They are 5 points behind Boston for that final playoff spot right now, and they are trying to keep that distance at this point. So a really big game for Puerto Rico, who still has just a little glimmer of playoff hope in them. So, of course, division title hopes kind of ruined for them, and not for Toronto, so that's on the line for Toronto as well. But But with that being said, that means Puerto Rico definitely trying to eyeball that playoff spot. We'll see if they can get it done. Let's get a look at the lineup. Sub-Zero leads the way for Puerto Rico, followed by Rowdy at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Radu Jr., and at 5-point gainer, it's Blue BMW. To the home side of the field now, we got Indy 5 Jr. leading the way for the Toronto Titans, followed by Wen at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Synchro, and at 5-point gainer, it's going to be X-Wing. Both teams set and ready to go for this one. Let's go on ahead and get it underway. Indy 5 Jr. and Sub-Zero leading us off. And we're going to go on ahead and add the little assist here. A little bit of water will help with the rolling process, no doubt. So, both cars go back at it, and we are on. Sub-Zero and Indy 5 Jr. Of course, Indy 5 Jr. used to play for the Playas back in the day. Both cars almost going down. What a matchup we got here. Toronto and Puerto Rico starting things off pretty dang cool, and it's a good flip right there. Sub-Zero getting the getting flipped, and Indy 5 Jr. getting the flip. So 5-0 the score. Toronto in the lead. And what I mean, pretty cool. I was no pun at Sub-Zero. I think I made him lose his concentration there when I said it was too cool. Anyways, so the score 5-0 in favor of Toronto. Rowdy trying to even it up, not going to be able to. Indy 5 Jr. is making Alex Johnson regret he ever traded him right now. 10-0 the score. Enter the rookie for the Playas. Radu Jr. trying to get this thing even up, trying to keep his team in the game really more than anything, but needs to flip to do it. Switching sides now with Indy 5 Jr. Both cars staying up that time. And yet again. And out of play goes the rookie. So Radu Jr. ducking out of play as the score remains 10-0 in favor of the Toronto Titans here at home, getting it done today. You know, they want to bounce back from that shutout loss that they took at the hands of the Boston Vandals. I think that's kind of a chip on the Titans' shoulder right now after another out of play there. Still 10-0 the score. As they look to put this thing away, Indy 5 Jr. trying to get it done. Radu Jr. fighting to keep his team alive. And I'd say if he takes down this guy, and he's not going to take him down. Radu Jr., I was going to say if he gets a flip here to keep his team alive, he might not have enough in the tank for the next guy, but no need to be concerned about that. A bad game day for Alex Johnson, 15-0. Defeated by the league-operated Toronto Titans. So if you're looking to own a CDL team, Toronto just made it to 11-5 in their second season. And a huge win right there over Puerto Rico, to say the least. Donuts served for dinner in that one. And like I said, a huge victory for Toronto in that one. So no doubt. Puerto Rico, tough loss. They stay at 17 points. Nothing to be gained there, and the playoff hopes starting to dwindle even more so now. So in case you were wondering, like, okay, Seattle. What if Seattle makes the playoffs? They break that drought. Who then has the longest drought? Actually, a three-way tie. 2017 was last year. Miami, Houston, and Washington all made it to the playoffs. So there's question on whether those droughts extend or not remains to be seen. But coming up next, we got 2 games left, and they're 2 really, really big games. First place in the Car Demolition League is on the line. That I can say as much. Next, defending world champions, the Tampa Bay Gators, on the road against the Gowanda Outlaws, who are, oddly enough, in that discussion, even though they are really 3rd place in this whole thing. But they could finish the game day in first. I'll explain when we come back. Well, CDL fans, we are back, and I am back with an explanation, I guess I could say, right? The defending world champions, the Tampa Bay Gators, are not in first place right now. Actually, they're coming in with a record of 9 wins, 5 losses, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. That being said, holding down the 5th place spot in the Eastern Conference and trying to keep up with a couple of teams like the Toronto Titans and these here Gowanda Outlaws, who are currently 3rd place in the Eastern Conference right now. Gowanda's record coming into this game day, it's very good. 10 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties, no overtime losses. They have 34 points, which is as many points as Philadelphia and New York, who are going to be playing in our main event for first place in the league, right? But the difference is, even though they have 34 points the way they got it, New York and Philly both have 11 wins and an overtime loss, whereas Gowanda has 10 wins and 2 ties. More wins wins the tiebreaker. So that's the position Gowanda's in. You say, well, how are they going to take first place if you got the top 2 playing against each other? Philly's playing against New York, so the winner's going to get 37 points. There's the rub, because, to quote Shakespeare, right? There's the rub, because if Gowanda can get the win and get themselves to 37 points, and let's just say hypothetically New York and Philadelphia play to a tie, they would both only have 36 points, leaving the Outlaws in first place. But for that to be done, they need to win. Tampa Bay don't want that to happen. They beat the Outlaws in the playoffs last year. They'll be trying to do the same thing today. Of course, last year they had the home field advantage. This year, it's Gowanda. Let's get a look at the lineups. Leading the way for the Tampa Bay Gators, it's going to be Ratified, followed by Battle at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's 47 Ronan, and that 5-point gainer, it's Purple Fire. The Gators trying to play spoiler here in this one. To the home side of the field, Reptile leads the way for the Gowanda Outlaws, followed by Hammer at the middleman spot. At the captain spots, Black Spinebuster, and Demon 4 has the 5-point gainer position for Gowanda. So, who better to have in your way than the defending world champs to potentially put yourself in a position to be first place in the league? That's the way I look at it, right? We get a little assist for these cars. Here we go. Ratified and Reptile leading us off, and Reptile has a good flip, 5-0. Gowanda in the lead. So, 5-0 the scores. That brings out Battle for the Gators. And he's trying to hang on, playing on the defensive right away. Reptile's been so good on the soft field. Switching sides now with Battle. Maybe Battle wants the home side, maybe he doesn't. He just got launched back. He's hanging in there though. Battle hanging on. He's doing the best that he can. He's still up there, leaned up against the mesh. Keeps the home side of the field, and Reptile applying all the pressure, and a good flip right there for Reptile. 10-0 Gowanda in the lead, and they're looking to make quick work of this one as that brings out 47 Ronin for the Gators. 10-0 is the score. Reptile trying to get that win. Now the Gators, in fairness, are not a soft field team, and it might be affecting them here. I'd say so. It is in this one. It's 47 Ronin tries to keep the Gators in this game. Reptile just needs a tie collision to get the win for Gowanda and make it a 15-0 win. As 47 Ronin is down. And if you wanted any indication, like, are the Outlaws good this year, I think that's it right there. They go out and they get the win. They want first place in the conference. They got a chance now. They will be first place in the conference at the end of this thing if Philly and New York tie each other today. But at the very least, they could find themselves second place in the conference if one of them wins and one of them loses. But Gowanda with a huge win over Tampa Bay. 15-0 the final score, and segment 3 has been a lights-out shutout segment so far. 3 games, 3 shutouts here in segment 3. I would like to think that New York and Philadelphia are going to put on a better show, but we'll find out. Maybe one team's just going to dominate. We'll see. Maybe that's how it's destined to be here in our 3rd segment today, but 3 shutouts to start things off. Can't control what happens on the field. Any given game day, anything can happen. That includes 3 shutouts. We might have a game day with 12 shutouts one of these days. Who knows? But Philadelphia going head-to-head with New York. That's our main event. It's coming up next. Stay tuned. Well, folks, from I'd have to say the entertainment standpoint, unless you are a fan of the Gowanda Outlaws, Toronto Titans, or the Detroit Devils, I say today hasn't been too entertaining of a game day as well. This segment hasn't been too entertaining of a segment, is what I mean to say. But maybe this will make up for it. We've got the Philadelphia Demons, we've got the New York Empire, both teams with a record of 11 wins, 3 losses, no ties, and 1 overtime loss. 34 points on the season. Now, of course, we know Gowanda got to 37, but they are a win behind in the numbers and the tiebreakers and whatnot. So whoever wins this game takes first place in the league unless they both tie. We're about to find that out. Two teams with identical records. They were tied for first place coming into this game day, and now they break that tie. Maybe. More than likely. You know, ties are really rare in this league, but needless to say, let's get on to the lineups here. I can't explain it any better than that. Shane Geyser's Philadelphia Demons leading the way with Hammer Jr. Following him out there is going to be Red Spectite. At the captain spot, Silver Molina for the Demons, and at 5-point gainers, High Tech. To the home side of the field, the league-operated New York Empire. Yes, they need to be adopted yet. So we got 15 Turbo leading the way for the Empire today, followed by Rising Heat at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Black Bullet 2, and at 5-point gainer is Challenge. So both teams set and ready to go. Offense leading the way on the defensive field, Hammer Jr. out of play. Shane Geyser would really love to get a win, especially after what happened to Miami. And of course, he would love to take first place in the entire league. And look at this, Hammer Jr. and 15 Turbo putting on a show. The offense is out. Hammer Jr. has a good flip, 15 Turbo down. 5-0 Demons in the lead as that now brings out Rising Heat, Rookie of the Year from just a year ago. Gets a good flip gets flipped right there. And it's a good flip, I should say, for Hammer Jr. So 10-0 the score. The offense winning this game right now. Black Bullet 2 out for the Empire. Is it going to end in a shutout? Are we going to have a fourth shutout here in our third and final segment? It's looking that way right now. Both cars are going to be down. Well, folks, it doesn't end in a shutout, but it might as well. 15-5 is going to be the final. The Philadelphia Demons get the win. And Shane Geyser, you can go on ahead and have something to celebrate about today. I know Miami didn't get it done for you, but your Philadelphia Demons are first place in the Car Demolition League with just 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. 15-5, the Demons pick up the win over the New York Empire. So, where's that leave Gowanda in the whole midst of this? Well, second place behind Philadelphia. Both teams got themselves 37 points, and indigestion or something. Both teams got themselves 37 points, and are leading the league with that. But of course, Philadelphia with that 12 wins to 11 wins, right? So that's what gives them the lead. What do they got in the next game day coming up? Philadelphia is going to be home against Los Angeles. See if the Blades can put on a better show than what they did today. Mexico City going head-to-head with Boston. San Diego playing against Tampa Bay, so kind of feel for San Diego having to play against Brandon Kuma 2 game days in a row. Gotta admit that much. And let's see, Gowanda's home against Chicago, so a big game there. New York's hosting Houston, so in case you want to follow that battle. But folks, I appreciate y'all watching. Definitely thank you for the support. $10 to both charities gained today overall. Unfortunately, the third segment couldn't be quite as closely contested. Like I was actually thinking it was, but I am wrong sometimes, more often than not. And that's kind of the wonderful thing about the Car Demolition League is the unpredictability. You don't know what you're going to get. There's games that you don't think they'll be close and they end up going to overtime. There's games that you think that will be close and it ends up in a blowout sometimes. It's just the way the league works. And today, the Philadelphia Demons, in the final segment, they dominated. No doubt about it. On the road, hard field team coming on the road to beat a soft field team. And no doubt that Gowanda dominated Tampa Bay. I wasn't really expecting that one to happen as massively as it did. But that being said, man, we had one heck of a game day overall. July 9th in the books, 2 weeks to go in the regular season. Not sure what the next main event's going to be for us here in the Car Demolition League. Seattle and Miami, maybe Detroit and Toronto. Maybe that'd be an interesting one, right? Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. We'll have to see. But until that time comes, which would be Tuesday, July 13th, until that day, as always, folks, much love. Take care of yourselves, be yourselves. As always, peace. Hey CDL fans, just had to come in and add this at the very end here because I just now realized it while making these here stand-ins. Congratulations has to go out to both the Gowanda Outlaws and the Philadelphia Demons with both of their wins they are going to the 2021 playoffs. The first two teams to clinch playoff spots. 10 more to be clinched. As a matter of fact, Mexico City and New York on the next game day coming up. If they win, they are in. So something to look ahead to. All right. Now till next time. Peace.